in terms of other applications, we've done a lot of stuff for just basically the individual looking for passive income. One of the biggest launches we've done is actually, like, if you're familiar with iPhone charging cables.
Yes.
And then you're familiar with like MagSafe, like the iMac charging cable that would fly off.
Yep.
So we found a product for just an individual that wanted to create passive income. It was one of those cables for iPhone. And so if you hit the iPhone cable, the iPhone didn't go flying, you'd actually just knock the cable off.
Oh, okay.
It was really cool, actually pretty unique. It was trending at the time. We then got away from the competition by running ads to a website. We were running ads to an app, about 8 times cheaper ad costs, which led to, they did over $250,000 in sales in the first 30 days.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Vito Glazers After Dark, live from the Soho House in West Hollywood. It's a beautiful afternoon here in Hollywood, California, and I'm so excited to share with you my guest today, my good friend, Alexander Martino, the CEO of Scaling Group LLC. Alexander, thanks so much for being on here on the show today with me.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't be happier. It's a gorgeous day, and excited to kind of dive into this whole thing.
Yeah, so for those of listeners out there who don't know you, you're a 9-figure entrepreneur. You've done millions of dollars in sales on platforms like Shopify, Amazon, all kinds of internet-driven sales. But the reason I wanted to have you on the show today is because I was learning a lot about your story and how you got where you are. But I also think that you have a lot to offer creative entrepreneurs like the members here at the Soho House. So for those who don't know you, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from, and how you became an expert in what you're doing today.
Sure, yeah. So I'm born in Manhattan, New York, around actually close to really close to the city growing up. Moved around quite a bit as a childhood, really got my foot in entrepreneurship in college, in Chicago, actually, close to the other Soho House. And in that time, I started to, growing up, I basically was pushed toward university. And I think a lot of us creatives, that's not always the path we go down. And for me, I didn't enjoy it, and I started to pursue other things from there, including basically internet marketing, advertising for brands like REI and larger brands like that, Nike as well. I really got my foot in the advertising space through dropping out of college and then advertising for a Fortune 500 fitness franchise. We managed about 500 accounts on a daily basis, and that eventually just that rabbit hole just kept going until I got really involved in e-commerce. And since then, we've been doing this for investors and creatives and really just helping them build brands and assets that they can leverage long term.
Yeah, I know you're really all about helping people generate residual passive income, which I think is the best way to do it, because if you don't figure out how to make money while you sleep, you're going to work till you die, right?
Ultimately, yeah.
So one of the things we're going to be talking about today is you're actually going to walk us through the process of how somebody who is a creative or an influencer, actor, entrepreneur, musician can basically do their own product launch to their audience, and how you basically do that for other celebrities and brands. So that's really exciting, and we're going to break that down. But before we get to that, tell us a little bit about the company you own now. It's called Scaling Group LLC, and I'd love to hear more about how that started, how long you've been in business. Why should people listen to you as the expert?
Yeah, right. So been doing the whole done-for-you side of this, where we're actually building out these assets for individuals, whether it's creatives, whether it's entrepreneurs, whether it's brands, whether it's just investors looking for residual income. Been doing that for about 3.5 years now. It started with former business partnerships. Those led me down learning a lot about business, I'd say, at its core. We then branched out in early 2021, we branched out on our own, and I started Scaling Group, and since then worked with over 1,500 clients, and really taken this thing off. The reason I bring up the client count and who we've worked with is because there's a lot of people that have been in this space, but if they haven't gone through it over 1,000 times, the results can vary.
Yeah, and that was my question that I was going to ask you, because basically the done-for-you space, for those who don't know, that's when you basically pay a company to do everything for you. They set up the website, the store, your products, everything. But a lot of people say that those are scams. So what would you say to somebody who is doubtful of the credibility or the legitimacy of doing an Amazon or a Shopify done-for-you kind of store?
Sure. I mean, the platforms do have control. That's why we push a lot more people towards Shopify. That being said, definitely a very repeatable business model. I know there have been plenty of horror stories. You could ask your best friend. You probably have a horror story about someone getting ripped off in this space. Really, the company's track record and how many clients they've worked with, and if they can have you speak to clients, that's really all that speaks for itself. Because chances are the people that have gone through and got burned in the past by companies that claim to do stuff like this, chances are they didn't get to speak to anyone. It was just literally like, hey, okay, cool, you want this, pay us like 20, 30 grand up front, which is common. But people do. This space is full of that.
Yeah.
And so I'd say it's a big deal to be able to look up companies' reviews, be able to speak to clients, be able to speak to the whole team, be able to come out to the offices in Beverly Hills if you so wish to do so. It's all available, and we've really done everything we can to go to put that extra foot forward to make our clients comfortable with how we're set up and how legitimate it really is, because we understand that space.
Yeah, and I can tell you're really legit, obviously. We've known each other for a while. I also have done my due diligence on you. You've got amazing reviews on Trustpilot, on Google, on all the different websites. People say great things about your work. We're both in the same like Ferrari club now, so that's pretty cool. Congratulations. This guy got a new Ferrari. You don't do that if you're going around just ripping people off, right? So you've built yourself a great reputation, and I'm super excited to share the knowledge that you built with our audience here. So why don't we jump into it and talk a little bit about, let's say, like, use me for example. Like, I have about 500,000 followers on Instagram, another 100,000 on Facebook, really engaged audience. Like a creative like myself, who might not be like a full-on celebrity, but I do have like a very engaged audience that is influenced by my decisions and my posts and stuff like that. What's something that like how could you help somebody like me make passive income, make residual income, and make more money off my personal brand?
There's a lot that goes into that process, right? I'd say the biggest things is, right, your audience will buy from you. They will. Whether it's something you're recommending or whether it's your own product. It is really, a lot of it's about figuring out what they will buy.
Yeah.
But they will buy, so it's more of just like what serves your audience best.
Okay, so what do you do? How would you help like a creative entrepreneur dial in the best product? Do you have a process?
Yeah, so we have a very rigorous process for how we're finding products, and most of it's just it's analyzing the market, almost like stocks. They're analyzing historical patterns. We're analyzing current trends.
Okay, so you're basically looking at like what products are kind of selling on Amazon and what people are typing in, and then kind of reverse engineering.
We're reverse engineering, but at the same time, if someone has a big enough following and a loyal enough following, they can easily launch apparel, and that scales just fine. And that actually, it's an interesting one, because you can do a massive product drop and really capture a lot of your audience, especially if you can do it like a low cost, like, here, we're giving away something, first X amount of people, after that X amount of people, then it's going to be at this price, after this many people, then it's going to be at a full price, and you can do drops like that. And the benefit to the way we approach it is we're not just doing drops and promoting stuff directly to your audience, we're promoting them to download an app to get access to the offers.
Okay, so basically step one is you figure out the product by kind of looking at what people are searching for. Now step two is there has to be somewhere for them to buy the product, and I think that's where you're getting into now.
Exactly.
You guys, set up these apps and stuff, and he showed me some of these apps, and I actually seen that other very famous people are already using these. Drake is a great example. He's got his OVO apparel brand, and they have the exact app that you were showing me. So tell me a little bit about the app and how that works and how you guys set those up for people.
Yeah, so we're very integrated with a couple companies in this space, and most of them they stay behind the scenes, but we're very integrated with two companies, and they are literally like working with us directly to make sure that when a client comes to us, we're able to push over. So I'll back up a little bit. Yeah. We built out the e-commerce platform for our clients on Shopify. Shopify hosts like a lot of Kylie Cosmetics. Like, just, you could name drop a million brands.
I have everything I've ever built on Shopify. I put all my clients on Shopify. It's a great platform.
It's a great platform. It's very robust, very reliable. And so after that website development is done on Shopify, then what we're doing is, we're pushing everything into a mobile app. There's a couple benefits to this. One, when it comes to actually advertising to your audience, whether that's paid ads or whether that's a link in your bio, we're able to actually promote to them very effectively. We also get them to not just only give us their name, email, phone number, which is the common assets you'd get when someone buys from you. We have push notifications.
Right.
And they have an 80% open rate, whereas
Right.
email is like 15%. So just
Right.
imagine an email list. If you really had a solid audience, you're promoting them regularly, it's about a 6 times more profitable email list. And if you're not doing email alone, we also implement that for our clients.
Okay, so you basically, step 1, you find the product. Step 2, you kind of build people onto a platform like Shopify.
With
then
the shop.
with
Yeah,
the with
we'll
the
do
app.
some sort of giveaway with tiered
see.
systems, so that we are pushing people and incentivizing them to download it.
Gotcha. Okay, so then you create like a incentivized marketing campaign in order to get the fans to download these apps. So then you can basically control the messaging on their phone. You don't have to worry about emails hitting the inbox or text messages not going out.
We have control over nearly everything, and the best part, I'd say, especially for the creative audience, you own the asset. You're not reliant on Instagram anymore. There's a separate app that you actually own and control the entire asset. It builds long-term value of your brand. It also builds rapport and trust with your audience. You can incentivize some really cool giveaways. Where like you can actually drop just to the most active customers within the last 30 days.
Well, give us an example of one of your most successful launches from beginning to end, maybe if you were allowed to talk about that. Tell us about a product you did, how you built it out, and then kind of some of the results.
Yeah, absolutely. So in the creative space, a little bit more, have to touch more lightly on what we've done. But in terms of other applications, we've done a lot of stuff for just basically the individual looking for passive income. One of the biggest launches we've done is actually like, if you're familiar with iPhone charging cables.
Yes.
And then you're familiar with like MagSafe, like the iMac charging cable that would fly off. So we found a product for just an individual that wanted to create passive income. It was one of those cables for iPhone. And so if you hit the iPhone cable, the iPhone didn't go flying, you'd actually just knock the cable off.
Oh, okay.
It was really cool, actually pretty unique. It was trending at the time. We then got away from the competition by running ads to a website. We were running ads to an app, about 8 times cheaper ad costs, which led to, they did over $250,000 in sales in the first 30 days.
30 days. So you literally you found this product, and you didn't even have a celebrity on this particular one.
This was not celebrity. This was paid.
You found an investor who wanted to create passive income through e-commerce. You dialed in on a product that was trending. In this case, it was iPhone chargers with a magnet.
It could be anything, but in this case,
it could be glasses, it could be shoes, watches, right? Anything.
Exactly.
So, and then you basically built it out on Shopify, and then you ran a marketing campaign to incentivize. Who was the audience that was being incentivized to download the app?
Sure. So the way we were doing this is this was anyone interested in technology.
Okay.
There's some specific targeting on platforms like Facebook and Instagram, specifically technology, early adapters of technology. That was our target audience.
Yes.
And just to clarify, that's revenue. Profit was about 28% of that. So.
That's really good. And okay, so then basically you target the audience through Facebook ads. You get them to, and that could be replaced if you're an influencer. Then you don't necessarily have to do those ads.
You can actually
do the
advertise
posts
to your audience instead of running Facebook.
So that's the only thing that really changes if it's like a personal brand or if it's a just like an investor.
Yeah, if anything, the creatives have a more leverage because they have their audience and they can promote to their following through their profile with paid as well to make sure their whole audience sees that.
So then you basically promote it to the audience, and then basically people just buy. And then what happens after that? Like, what do you usually recommend people do after one product? Because there's no residual income in one product, so what do you do next?
So we're finding then matching products or things that line up within that realm. So say we sell the iPhone charger cable, maybe we sell MacBook charger cable next. We are doing that through push notifications and email and text.
So you just keep finding new products and promoting to that audience.
We keep doing that for our clients long term. We will continuously find products. If they're in the creative space, we'll try to find things that they can private label, have it branded under them. If they are more in the like, hey, this is my residual income, we just continuously keep on finding things to promote to the audience.
It sounds like an amazing business model. So we've got about a minute left. For anybody that's interested in maybe building their own brand or using your company for your done-for-you service, how can people get a hold of you? What's the best way to reach you, and what kind of offerings do you maybe have that you can educate people on today?
Yeah, absolutely. So best way to find out more about what we do is the website scalinggroupllc.com. If you're interested and you're more on the creative side and you don't want to go through the website and book just a sales call, because that is what it is, right? We're there to educate you through the process and what we have to offer. And really, right now, Shopify and the app system is doing the best. And it's really it's a long-term asset that you'll have for years to come. If you don't want to go through the website, though, you can absolutely contact me on Instagram. It's at Alex Martino. Happy to give you more info there with a more personalized feel to that.
Well, that sounds amazing. Alexander, thank you so much for being on the show today. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to work with Alexander Martino, make sure you hit him up at scalinggroupllc.com. Again, my name is Vito Glazers. This has been another episode of Vito Glazers After Dark, live from the Soho House in West Hollywood. Big thanks to the Soho House for the studio, for the Bacantes, and big thanks to Alexander for coming out all the way here to share his insight. We'll see you next time. Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for tuning in to our latest episode of Vito Glazers After Dark, live from the Soho House in West Hollywood, California. And if you enjoyed tonight's episode and you'd like to know how you can support us, I invite you to check out one of our affiliate partners, Try Carrot. Carrot is an influencer black card. It's the first charge card and credit card that's built around underwriting your social media audience in order to approve you for your credit limit. It's really cool and really innovative financially. And on top of that, the black card gives you access to some amazing events. Like they did a casino night in downtown LA. They do all kinds of influencer support groups and influencer opportunities. So if that's something that you're interested in, if you're an influencer or you're an entrepreneur that is active on social media and you would like to check out a really cool credit card or charge card, I got approved for up to $15,000. You can apply for free at influencerblackcard.com. So again, if you enjoyed the episode tonight and you'd like to learn how you can support us without having to spend any money at all, you can apply for free. I invite you to check out influencerblackcard.com. And if you have any questions about it, feel free to DM me on Instagram at Vito Glazers, and I can tell you all about it.